How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews, back with yet another review in the form of New Trail Brewing Company. It is their Broken Heels IPA. Full disclosure, I've had this beer before. It's been quite a long time. How long? Pretty much when they opened. Full disclosure, I got one of these cans from a buddy brewer of mine who actually got it from one of the brewers from New Trail pretty much right when they opened. I don't even think they were actually open to the public yet or distributing out, and they did their first can run of this. And he gave me one. He said, hey man, check out this new brewery down in Williamsport, PA. At the time I was living in Pennsylvania. And I reviewed it. I filmed it. Actually, I'll see if I can track it down. If I still have it recorded, maybe I'll post it at the end of this review. No promises. But it just kind of didn't do much for me. It tasted a little bit kind of herky-jerky. It tasted like a brewery that was opening up relatively soon. And, I didn't post it because I was like, it's their first canning run. Could be canning issues. Could be a couple different things. Why put that out in the air and out in the ether and let people kind of judge a brewery on that? So I figured, I'm like, they're close. They're local. They're neutral. Like, I'll try it when it comes out on the reg. I haven't had a beer since from these guys. I probably had a taste here and there in line chairs and stuff like that, but they didn't get distro in my area, and Williamsport from where I lived was an hour and a half away, so I didn't have a chance to get out there, and there's really not much out there except for like Bullfrog Brewing out that way, and just didn't see any of their stuff, and then I moved to Jersey, but I went down to a local, on my way home from work, because I work in PA still. I stopped at a local bottle shop. They had this there. It's super hyper fresh. This is like 2 weeks old. And I knew this was kind of their flagship when they first jumped off. They had a couple different cans at this place. And I was like, you know what? Let me give this a re-review, even though I never posted the other one. So anyway, super long intro. Made even longer by me talking. So let's just crack into this. And we'll just kind of dive into the can as we get along. So you're talking about a hazy IPA. It's lower ABV, which is right up my alley. Lower-ish ABV. I think it's like 6 and change, I believe. It is. Where is the ABV? Seriously? I know I've seen it. I don't know. It's probably right in front of my face. Because I remember looking and I go, okay, I'll pick this one up because it's not that crazy. Anyway, maybe I'm lying to myself, but label-wise, it's cool. I like it. You know what I mean? It's smart design. Obviously, they consulted somebody who knows what they're doing as far as logoing goes and stuff like that, so I dig it. That's dark. You're talking about a hazy IPA. It's coming off a bit darker than what you typically expect from like today's version of a hazy IPA. Just rich orange core that has like a touch of like caramel malt, like a little bit more darkness to it. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Yeah, no APV. For some reason, I thought it was on there. I'm not going to fixate on it. But yeah, a little bit of soapy edges. It was creamy, decently creamy on top, but it's kind of dissipated by now because I'm talking way too much. And that'd be that. So she looks the part of a hazy while being just a little bit darker than what you typically expect. Let's get a nose. Okay. That's got a really big, rich, vibrant kind of citrus to it. Yeah, it's got a big, rich citrus component to it. On top of that, it has almost like slight pine needle-y kind of pininess. Not necessarily big West Coast kind of resinous to it, but it's like a more spruce, tippy kind of vibrant winter green kind of pininess to it. It's pretty cool. So yeah, it definitely has that kind of bittering, kind of piney hop thing going on. It's definitely leading the way to that big citrus component, but at the same time, I don't know if it's going to come off as like a soft, kind of rich kind of fruitiness or a little bit of a hard candy like. I could see it going either way on it. But it's got a big, vibrant nose on it, and I kind of dig it. So let's dive in. Cheers. That's a fun beer. I mean, you're getting a slightly nutty, crackery malt off it. I kind of dig that. That it's kind of has a little bit of personality to it, and it's just not just thriving on the hops that are in there, but the hops are leading the way. Again, led by that big citrus component. That pine needle-y portion of the show, that piney West Coast thing, is definitely catching up, though. So it's almost neck and neck, but it's definitely leading the way with that citrus component. Those pine needles kind of following up on the rear as that little soft, nutty kind of maltiness to it that I kind of dig. Probably the biggest knock of this beer, if I'm going to give it anything, is its mouthfeel. The mouthfeel does come off a little bit thin. A little bit thinner than when you expect, especially when you're talking about, quote-unquote, a hazy IPA. It looks the part of the haze. It kind of drinks the part of the haze outside of that mouthfeel. It does come off a little bit thin. But it's a little bit forgivable because it's kind of tasty and it's kind of important, I think. Yeah, that's a good shelfie, man. Definitely. Again, if they were to tweak this and screw with this and try to beef up that mouthfeel and get it to something that was a little bit more robust, I think would be an absolute home run. But all in all, it's a pretty damn tasty beer. I mean, you're talking about, I forget what I paid for it. The place I go to has no prices out. Not that they're overly expensive. I just, I don't know. But as far as the shelfie go, I think I've seen their beers right around what, market value as far as shelfie goes, $14-15 a piece. It's not that shabby. It's just that mouthfeel kind of keeps it from getting to the upper echelon of shelfie. It's not in that kind of industrial arts wrench or your Hooker No Filter or even your new kind of old out here in Jersey Old Nation M43. It's not getting up to that kind of level of a shelfie hazy, but it's definitely up there. And kind of second tier, and that's not a bad thing. That's not necessarily a knock on a brewery. You're talking about a brewery that's has to be less than 2 years old, I would assume. And had its fair share of kind of bumps in the road. I believe the Brewers actually shut down for a month or two. Something happened. I remember reading about it, but I dig it. I think it's tasty. It's nice. It gives me kind of what I want in a hazy. Just kind of stop short without having that awesome mouthfeel. Yeah, I like it. So let's talk about it. It's one of the better hazy IPAs I've had as of late. It's not on the outside. It's on the inside. It's on the edge. So in that kind of compartment, that's where we put it. Is it one of the better shelfie hazies that I've had as of late? That it gets into. Again, it's not at that upper echelon that I talked about previously, but it's definitely worthy of being in the conversation, and that's a good thing. Value and availability. Shelfie beers. That's pretty awesome. And I've seen these guys pretty much all over PA. So if you see their footprint, I assume you see this because this is, I'm pretty sure, their flagship beer. And leave you with, if you like what we like this beer, if you like your hazies, definitely kind of citrus, grapefruit, pineapple, fruit forward, but you also want a little bit of kind of piney bitterness in there. You kind of pine for a little bit of those West Coasties. Give you a little bit of both worlds in a very fun way. So if you like those kind of things in your hazies and you don't mind a little bit of a thinner mouthfeel, it's going to make you happy. There you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive if you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice little shelfie hazy right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers. How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews, back with another review. New beer review. New brewery review. Relatively close to me as of right now because I'm still living in PA. And that is New Trail Brewing. It is their Broken Heels India Pale Ale. Never heard of these guys before. I don't even think they're actually open. But I had a lucky friend of mine kind of dropped a can on me out of nowhere. And when we get cans, we review stuff. So here we go. As far as what it says Broken Heels IPA, India Pale Ale, 1 pint. New Trail Brewing Company of Williamsport, Pennsylvania. I keep cold, drink fresh. Can in Williamsport, PA, and that's that. No date on the can. He told me it was about a month old, maybe a hair over, so keep that in mind. But good beers last. And label-wise, it's cool. Not too bad. Decent label design. You got a kind of mountain, kind of rocking stuff there. Oh no, that's a valley. And you see a little river down there. Probably a river in Williamsport. So there you go. New breweries. It does not suck. Hopefully, she is of the good kind of new brewery. Excuse me. Give her a rough pour there. Generate a little bit of a head on her. Just under her pinky finger. White as white could be. Infinite creaminess. Sleep on that motherfucker. And we got that haze going on, baby. Yeah, soft, kind of milky haze. Not the super crazy butternut squash, super turbid haziness that everybody covets nowadays, but pretty damn close. See what she has in the nose. We're talking about tropical fruit, mangoes and papayas with a bit of a stone fruitiness. Not a ton of citrus. That's probably way in the bottom. It's definitely in that tropical leaning realm with that bit of kind of nice peachiness to it. Super nice balance between a little bit of bittering going on there, nice sweetness on the nose. So she smells welcoming, smells chuggable. Did I talk about ABV? I don't know if I did. It's an IPA, so you assume it's kind of floating, give or take, right around 6 to 7% the way most people do their beers nowadays. But she smells nice. Ever so slightest touch of a little bit of kind of a buttery vibe underneath there, but nothing too crazy. Let's dive in. Cheers. Okay. Definitely a bitter beer. That's pretty cool. That big kind of tropical fruit combined with that bit of peachiness, not nearly as big in the taste as it was in the nose. Definitely bittering's leading the way here, and it's more of an old school kind of West Coast bittering to it. It's a little bit piney, a little bit resinous. It's not too kind of green. Nice mouthfeel to it, nothing too crazy. And you do get that little bit of kind of buttery vibes in there. Again, nothing too crazy. But a nice, tasty first can. It's a weird beer in that it's kind of like a hazy West Coast IPA. That's the kind of vibes I get on it. Not necessarily in the nose, but definitely in the taste. That's a cool, nice little kind of switch, a little juxtaposition. Usually don't get with a lot of these hazy beers. They usually come off the super juicy and stuff like that. And I think it works. I like that the bittering's so big, but the sweetness is big enough to kind of balance it off. But I just wish there was a little bit more what was in the nose was in the taste. Because while the nose is fantastic and the beer drink's nice, it just leaves you wanting a little bit, especially what they gave you on the nose. Like I said, it had that little kind of buttery vibe going on. Just a little bit in the nose, a little bit in the mouth. It's definitely overlookable. It's not ruining the beer by any stretch, but is this beer going to end up in another month or two going to turn into something a little bit different? I don't know. But like I said, it has a little bit of time on it already. But at the same time, it's a fun beer. A good first offering from a new brewery, let's put it that way. With them not even really having their doors open yet, I'm sure they're learning a new system, banging away, tweaking stuff, and that doesn't suck. So let's talk about it. It's one of the better IPAs, hazy IPAs, New England style IPAs. That's what they're going for here that I've had as of late. No, but it's tasty nonetheless. And like I said, it's more of, okay, new brewery, doing new things, doing potentially interesting things. It's a nice first offering. Bag and availability, don't know. Give it to me and leave you with, if you like what we like this. If you like to try new breweries, kind of cutting their teeth, doing this hazy kind of thing. I don't know what else they do outside of this beer. This is my first kind of exposure to them. Didn't look up anything about them. So if you're just looking to support a new brewery, trying to do hopefully good things, then it's worth picking up. Give it a whirl. See what you think. Let me know. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Untapped. You can check me out there if you type in Massive Beers. On the flip the script, if you type in Beer Massive, you can find me doing a podcasting thing. And there you go. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a nice hazy IPA right now. And hope to see you next time. Cheers. Ooh, I gotta get this one in. So one more.